Hello, hello. Thank you so very much for your patience and for stopping by. Before we begin proper, I would like to give thanks to my active patron members: Elliot, Jade Lunaire, Spammer, Chip144, Juniper Turn, Cloaked Pelt 29, Aelin, Aaron Thash, Kiyumi, KitKat 0406, Gwendolyn Adams Bone, Azura Akamore, Canuck, Emma, Knock on Wood, Nobody at All, Agatha, Ragecat 888, Amy Wires, The Octahat, Evelyn, Puppy, Dzib, Roseboud, Nunberg, Fish Salad, Antari Akiyama, Sarha Smith, William Hale, Valkyr Tenno, Rylanor, the fan of a truly iconic Foxo, Galahad, Salgor Agaris, Marissa Crescitasame, Benifer the Potato, Genetic Zero, ZT Mackin, Songbird, Kyra, Void Dweller, T35, Morning Owlet, Elster's Shiny Things, Tarsis, Jessica, Amy Olgers, Tiny Portal, Chloe, Beer the Space Witch, Ellipses, CM Fireflies, Some Guy, Ghost 48, Joanna, Indigo, Aelin, Kai, Danny Bobani, TGA, Readable Vaporeon, Eden, Mick Shepherd, Captain Aardvark 986, Lily Adams, Hazel, Archibald, Blugoo, Alice, Kulik 92, Prophecy Fulfilled, DFA Plays, Robot Waifu, and Bloodmoth. Thank you. Thank you so very much for all of your support. It truly means the universe to me. And now, without further ado... Hi. It's very good to see you again. Hello. Hi. Just wanted to say hi and hello and to have a brief conversation with you before we really kick things off with Final Fantasy VII again. Not to say that we won't have our conversations, of course, just saying that I wanted to have like a small conversation to you before that began proper. So, lots of stuff have happened in the past week, I take. How have you been doing? Is everything okay? Welcome Nyx, Emma, Black Wolf, and Lilith. It's very good to see you again. Hi. Hello, and welcome. The past the past week or so has been interesting, to say the very least. It just seems that with each passing day, things seem to be devolving a little bit more and a little bit more. But yeah, we try to survive in the new normal. Emma says, shit's on fire, yo. Yep. SW says, I'm Swim Kid and I have a YouTube account. Congratulations. Oh, golly. Golly. So, I suppose a very good question to ask is, who have we not pissed off on the global scale yet? And I'm not just talking about myself, although I'm pretty sure that there are, like, at least a couple MAGA people who know I exist, ? But then again, I'm not even certain of that. We are in a very tiny corner of the internet right now. But doubtless when my channel becomes discovered by the greater population and more attention is put onto it, that will come with its own set of consequences. Yes, Final Fantasy VII, and this particular challenge that I'm doing is we're in the reactor building and we're going to get the first 2 characters up to level 99 without leaving it, which is going to take so much time, as I've not touched it since last stream. Spyro says, I am Fubar, it is late, but I woke up at 17:05 p.m. in the dipshit timescale, and now I need rest for tomorrow's classes. Ugh. Oy. Nick says Twitter is making me angry. Well, I'm just trying to look at memes and art, but government. Emma says we must form a giant Foxo commune. Why not? Let's make a Foxo commune together. Wolf says, a cutie commune? I suppose so. A commune full of cuties? Excellent. Willis says, but the bunnies. Oh? What about them? Swimcoat says, I painted my nails and had sushi for the first time, and this is the one good thing that happened this week. And then we go down here, turn that on, wait for that to load. Emma says, not entirely true. An ice guy slipped on some ice and broke his butt. Well, that is, interesting. And then we turn that on, and this on. Ice v ice and ice wins. What a world. Nick says, Genshin on my laptop is my salvation right now. Brain go off, only Columbina gambling. Oh, cool. Thank goodness. For a second, I was worried that my stream just died completely there. That always sucks. That and I've got like a paranoid thought that's going in the back of my mind at all times is, oh gosh, is it it? Is this it? Is my channel going to founder? Nick says, my stream is lagging so hard. No? Golly. So it probably was also just my streaming setup that was doing it. It's a very common occurrence. Hardline connection, but still sometimes the internet connection can be a little bit dog shit. Miss... John YouTube. Not John YouTube. Ah, Barrett's Limit Break. Emma says, nah, the whole dang page went wonky for me. I think it's John YouTube's fault. Of course it's John YouTube. Because why should we have a stream that just went completely pear-shaped? You know, just why would we have a stream that properly worked instead of having one that just goes completely wrong at times? I forget menu is, like, stationed on where the square button would be, not triangle. And this is coming from a controller user who is not using a PlayStation controller. I've not used a PlayStation controller for a long time. It's just I memorized the placement of those particular buttons. Swimkid says, wanna watch stream, but also want to play my Dreamcast. Conundrum. Well, you could also listen to the stream, put it on in the background as you do your own things. Nothing wrong with that. Foxo scuff. As in a Foxo that is engaging in the scuffle, or the Foxo stream is just scuffed in general. I can accept both as an outcome. How's my audio? Is my microphone okay still? Are we getting any, like, static feedback in one or both microphones? Because I remember when that happened, and it is also a bug that has affected some audios that needed to be re-recorded as a consequence, and it always sucks when that happens. Wolf says, true, I'm playing Dune Dark Ages while listening. Awesome sauce! Killing some demons! I remember when I was playing, like, Doom Eternal, and then Akira joined in the stream. And that was that. Foxo's stream is perfect because it has the cutest fox. Oh, I do my best. Swimkid says my headset wire doesn't reach, but I just remembered they inverted the cellular device I can use to solve this dilemma. Nick says Foxo and dealing with scuff. Hello, Trainmaster. It's been some time. Welcome. Please pull up a chair. It's very good to see you again, old friend. Emma says, and you sound wonderful to me. Also, the audio quality's good. Why, thank you so very much, oh dear Emma. It is so very good to see you as well, Trainmaster. Stream's not the same without you. Also, a hello to any lurkers in the chat. Hi! Hopefully in the stream we'll be able to get to a point where Cloud or Barret will be able to one-tap the machines. Right now they can one-tap the, you know, the other guards just fine, but they can't one-tap the machines. Dreammaster says, I'm going rail fanning this Sunday. Most excellent. Ooh! Those critical hit sounds are just oof. It's almost like the critical hit sounds in Final Fantasy X. They just pack a punch. They make you feel them. Yeah. Cloud and Barret are going to be so fucking jacked the second they leave this facility. another crit from Cloud. Oof. And we're rolling in the potions now. I remember when I was like really, really low on potions. Now I can use them whenever like I need to top up. Hello, Jonathan. It's very, very good to see you again. Jonathan says, hello, my lovely babe. Hi. Pull up a chair. Make yourself comfortable. So far, I'm really digging the battle system for Final Fantasy VII. It's not the one that I am the most used to, as I'm used to Final Fantasy XII's battle system a little bit more. Jonathan says, sorry, that was too much. I get hated by all the YouTube for just going... Oh, thank you so very much for the $5, Nyx. Anyways, Jonathan says, sorry, it's just too much. I get hated by YouTube just for going along with every theme. Like, I want to feel included. Nathan says, kind of reminds me of this one image of Ness and his friends from Earthbound, just completely jacked after grinding for the Sword of Kings. Nick says, Council! The Council has spoken. Many thanks, Emma. Hello, Slimanor. Hope you're doing well. Jonathan says, anyway, this actually happens, at least you don't mind my out-of-pocket self. It's quite alright. I fancy myself a little bit out-of-pocket as well. I mean, granted, I also write extremely, like... What's the word I'm looking for? Dark fantasy / horror themed ASMRs, so... You're in with a good crowd. Saw the Moon Goddess, says Nyx. Awesome. I'm doing the best I can, a little bit nervous for the future, but otherwise fine. Winter says also, everyone was cute except Nyx, as the council decrees. Well, why not Nyx? Well, why can't Nyx be cute? Nyx can be cute. And I'm pretty darn sure that everyone here is cute. Well, more than a little cute. Winter says, unironically, my last landing on my way back home had me fearing for my life a little. Oh, I'm sorry. Nathan says, I lost 50-50 and got a Mona. But of course, Jonathan. Nick says, I've dropped $15 so far. But I'm trying not to spend more money unless I have to. Honestly, Nyx, I hate to say it, but I recommend that you stop doing that. You stop paying for it. Gacha games are kind of bullshit. I don't want you to waste your money with them. Jonathan says, don't, I'm loving this. Nick says, Council has decreed that I am chaos. Winter says, ooh, right, fuck, I forgot Genshin was ending support for PS4. Oh, I see. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Hey, Fizz, good to see you. Please pull up a chair. Nick says his first time in months. I have it on my laptop with minimal lag. Nothing wrong with Genshin as a game. As a matter of fact, I really enjoy some of the gameplay loops of it. It can get a little bit tedious during longer play sessions, but the way that it is set up, a lot of the quests do make it kind of feel like you gotta rush through them in order to get the rewards at the end as soon as possible. One of the reasons why I had to stop playing Genshin was the fact that I really was just speeding through it and I wasn't enjoying many of the stories after I got an Effa. Once I finished Ineffa's story, I was just like kind of... well, not done, but I realized that I wasn't having as much fun anymore. The most I spent on that game was around $50, $60. That was as much of a budget as I was willing to give for a game. And from here on out, I'm not going to be spending money on gacha systems. I can't do it anymore. Pennies are really, really fucking tight as it is. I need to be saving up where I can. I concur with Nyx, Emma. Don't. Just don't. It's not worth it. They try to hook you in with feelings of fear of missing out, FOMO. And once they hook that feeling into you, it makes it more likely that they can loosen your purse strings. It is heavily, like... It is gambling. It is gambling for a character. Emma says, oh, it's like you drop money on your favorite waifu, and there's no guarantee that you'll even get her either. No guarantee at all. I mean, if you could, like, play through the game and slowly unlock characters as you play through their stories, I think I might find that more acceptable. I think that I would like that a bit better, instead of just having to rely on sheer dumb luck in order to get them. And have them be on the system where you can't reliably get them. I can definitely see about, like, some rare characters here and there, like from partnership deals, but to make them so very, very fucking rare, and to make it so that you have to buy them, I don't like it. I don't like it. Ah! Thank you so very much for the $10, Emma. It's very, very sweet of you. Because I've been spending my Enjoy Life money on Magic the Gathering. Honestly, I like that. I like Magic the Gathering. It's one of my personal vices, although I haven't really spent money on it in recent days, because again, pennies are tight. Nathan says, Emma, pretty much it's either that or you grind like a dog. Nick says, Honkai Impact is kinda like that if you don't do any of the side quests. Nick says, more so later on down the line. Winter says she works very hard and deserves it. Give the fox it. So long as you are able to, like, comfortably survive and you're perfectly willing to part with your cash. It is very much appreciated, but very much not necessary. Not like these Shinra, I'm just gonna call them Shinra enemies, in which I am forcibly just mugging them for their gil. And look how much gil I've gotten so far. I've got 20,671. And we've been at this grind for about 6 hours now. And we're not even a tenth of, 10% of the way through. Nick says, I'll give Fox some of my money during the summer, since I'd have more money then. You really don't have to. Emma says surrender all mortal possessions to Foxo. That's a bit far. Nick says, more hours during the summer. Agreed. Nix! Nathan says, I mean, technically you are guaranteed them after 180 pulls, but yeah, I do think it would be nice if you just got the characters for doing the story. Yeah, and you want to know something? I think that it would incentivize you to slow down a bit. To take in the scenery. To enjoy the storylines. But instead, you've got this on a system of gacha where you have to speed through the quest as quickly as possible to get the Primogems as quickly as possible in order to get the characters as quickly as possible. And then, you've got that building fear of FOMO as, like, the time runs out. And Cloud levels up to level 22. Woohoo! Wolf says, here's my soul. Oh, what a precious thing you are offering me. I promise to take very, very good care of it. Nick says, my luck isn't the best in Genshin compared to Honkai Impact and Star Rail. I fell victim to the Hoyoverse FOMO. Because I really like my android girls, and Inefa just scratches that itch at the back of my brain. But I lost the 50-50, like, pull for her the first time round. And only just barely managed to get her, and her weapon, by the end of her banner. And after that particular grind session, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. Because it's not fun. It feels like I'm rushing through it, and any sense of wonder that I had at the beginning of the game was just completely drained of me. And I don't even think that I'm anywhere close to beating the main story. One of the things that I would like, if at the end of Genshin Impact's life, and it does have an end of its life somewhere. This can't go on forever. One of the things that I want to see as an end-of-life plan is to make the characters unlockable. But most likely it'll just be abandoned. Emma says, here's 3 souls. I found them. Where did you find them, dear? Are they willing donations, or were they forcibly taken? I mean, if they're the souls of ice agents, I can use them for fuel. Nick says, it should be getting near the end since we refer to darkness or to evil. John YouTube strikes again. Nathan Hunt says, what sort of fuel? To be determined. Might just use it to fuel my motorcycle. Disclaimer, I don't own a motorcycle yet, but I want to someday. Viz says, sorry, I sold my soul for a 20-piece nugget meal, so I can't sell you my soul. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, kind souls, good souls that are willingly offered, I will treat as gemstones. Whereas the souls of evil people, I will most likely use as fuel for any sort of machina that I have on hand. Winter says, I got missed and mammed a lot at airports today. I take it this is, either a good or a bad development? I don't remember your pronouns, Winter. May I have them again? Emma says, mine's a little scuffed up now, probably. She, her, very good. Alright, thank you. Many thanks, Winter. Emma says polish his soul on sleeve. Aw, dear. You don't need to polish your own soul. Let me do that for you. Truly, precious gemstones all. And Barret's slowly getting to the point where he can level up. This says, do you take trinkets instead? I have a lot of trinkets. I like trinkets, yes. I just can't take too many trinkets because I do live in a very, very small den right now, and I can't fit them all in. Nick says, if you take someone's soul, can I ask their gender for snacks? Well, I suppose so. I don't see why not. Simon Orr says shonk. Shonk, 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 shonk. Nick says, yay, cat has gender squared, meaning snacks squared. Snacks are good. One of the things I'm endeavoring to try to do is cut most fast food out of my life. I can't cut everything out, obviously, because I do like my comforts here and there, but I'm endeavoring to spend as little at fast food joints as possible because, well, they're funding the apocalypse, and I don't want to support places that fund the apocalypse. One of the things I really should do is get to learning how to make these things so that I can make my comfort stuff without going there. That's the real ring-a-ding move, baby. From where you're sitting must seem like a 24-karat run of bad luck. But the truth is, the game was rigged from the start. Double the snacks per snack? Yeah, double the snacks. Fizz says I can bake, so I make my own snacks. Most excellent. Nick says, it's like the person who got powder milk in their milk to drink more milk per milk. Golly. Drinking more milk per milk. Making me worry over here. Viz says, yeah, learn a skill that can help you in the apocalypse. Like how to make a simple motor. Learning how to make a simple motor can make things go fast, and if you can learn to make things go fast, you can go faster than your competition in the wasteland. Cosmochim says, this game radicalized me. As it should. I have not played through its story before. I have definitely been spoiled on a lot of things, but there's so much about this game that I just don't know about. Which means the second that I leave this reactor is going to be brand new territory for me. Emma says, I know how to go fast. Puff nitro and paint your eye red. I'm just gonna paint my motorcycle in fox colors. Making me think of a Motley Crue song. When I get high on speed. Fizz says, witness me! Emma says, and yay, Foxmobile. Emma says, exactly! Witness me! Loud equals funny sometimes. Is John YouTube screwing up again? Emma says loud does equal funny. Slimy Noise says, I go for now. Okay. Stay safe. Emma says, and yes, dang it, John YouTube. He's throwing a fit. The Fox is streaming, we can't be having that. Nick says somewhat laggy, but only every once in a while. Barret is so close to leveling up. We're gonna save the potions for healing once he's leveled up. Two experience from leveling up. What? Ooh. Emma says, oh dear. And... Barret is level 22 now. Yeah! Almost breaking through to 1,000 hit points. Alright. So now that they are both level 22, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this display capture first and foremost. Also, it looks to me like we are dropping some frames. Like a lot of frames. Why are we dropping frames? That's not fair. Oh gosh, Charlie, darn, I don't want to drop frames. Now we're just going to go down to the current levels tab, and we're going to update this by putting in 22, 22. There we go. Excellent. And then back here, we're going to turn this back on. We've nearly lost 10% of frames already. Let's see if we can get to level 25. If we can get to level 25 or 30 during the stream, wow, that is a lot of time, but also pretty darn nice. Nick says I tripped earlier. Emma says you knocked over the frames. Nick says Shruggy Cat was playing Genshin. Fizz says, oh no. Oh. I'm craving something sweet. I've got coffee here. Nick says, we need to stack the frames again. Emma says, okay, fair enough. Fizz says, kickstand door. Oh, yeah. Emma says, George Takei enters the chat. Oh my. If the George Takei showed up, I would fan so hard. But also be severely confused. Just like, why are you here? I don't know why you're here. It makes me slightly concerned that you're here. Did I screw up somewhere? Nick says, I drank a monster not too long ago, so my sleep is ruined for sure. Now you're making me crave a monster. A monster energy drink is tasty to me. It's comparable to consumable battery acid, but I still crave it sometimes. Fizz says, I'm having fun. That is most excellent. I don't think I would be able to stand it if you weren't having fun right now. Wolf says, oh, I love Monster. Okay, so what kind of monster is your favorite? For me personally, it's kind of an interesting tie between the original flavor as well as the mango stuff, I believe. Emma says, wonders if George TK would come watch the stream if we asked. Gosh, I don't know where to begin with that. Starting with the fact that I would become increasingly self-conscious. Emma says, oh, you mean the energy drink? Oh. Emma says, ooh, I like Eldritch Space, Mommy. It is always a good one. Nathan says, I just looked it up. According to Final Fantasy Wiki, the mechs have 140 HP. So I'm guessing if we level Cloud up at least once, if not twice, then Cloud should be able to start one-tapping them. Nick says, watermelon or Java, since they don't make me regret life. Fizz says, pipeline punch, lol. Spire says, well, I gave up on sleeping, going to game until time to head to uni. I hope that you have a wonderful time at uni today. And if you don't, please let me know. I would like to see if I could correct that. Nick says, if we're talking overall energy drink, then the Arizona energy drink. Ooh, crit sounds. Crit sounds are heavenly. Get off the trampoline, Cloud. Fizz says, no sleep, gang. No sleep. Let's go, no sleep gang! No sleep gang! Emma says, woo, no sleep. Well, I am finishing off like the tail ends of coffee right now, so yeah, I'm probably not going to be sleeping much tonight. Nick says, sleep is for the mentally stable. Well, I'm not, you know, incredibly mentally stable. Ooh. Nick says no sleep, only Hoyo games. Winter says, I passed out a couple hours after eating, to be honest. Emma says, we're all mad here. From what I recall, the quote from the Disney cartoon from years past was, most everyone's mad here. And I think that that is apropos for this particular stream. There's a song by Lydia the Bard that I think is called I Only Paint in Red Now. And I just adore it. Like, so fluffing much because it's so creative and it's so dark. Spire says, starting Jade Dream muting stream, but keeping it on the second monitor. Hello, Obama Gaming. No sleep, only yearning for wife. Miss her so much. Aw, I'm sorry. Wolf says, what is sanity? Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Emma says, yes, it's so good. Yeah, I get it stuck in my head sometimes. And considering the origins of my VTuber model and of the character persona that I put on sometimes, yeah, very apropos. Very appropriate. Alice, it's time for tea. Alice? Just the sheer nervousness in the way that she says that, and it is immediately scary. Fizz says these scripts ain't gonna write themselves. Lol. Help me. Oh, I've been there. I've been there. I'm actually right there right now. I'm taking like a short break in writing new scripts because I have been like facing creator's block for a while. Nick says, my favorite song of hers is actually Oh Aphrodite. Huh, I don't think I've seen that one. One of her newest ones, I think it's one of her newest ones, is Feed Us Your Girls. Which is... It is both a fantastic song and wonderfully crafted, and also makes me feel slightly sick to my stomach. Because it cuts so very close to home. How easily it would be to descend into madness. Nick says, yeah, that's a song to say the least. Indeed. Emma says, oh gods, yeah, that one. Very good, but also oof. There's a reason I don't listen to it very often, but I still listen to it occasionally, here and there. Because it is very powerful, but it is also... It hits you like an iron fist to the gut every time. Because you think to yourself, how many? Just with those two words, how many? How many haven't survived the night? How many are going to perish this night? It makes me vastly uncomfortable, and that's the point. I think that if you grow comfortable and try to ignore these things, I think that burying of your head in the sand is not the correct move. Nick says, don't cry for your daughter's Eve is kind of similar. I see. Emma says, yeah. I think that's an area where we've kind of gone wrong as a society. So many folks just refuse to engage with anything that makes them uncomfortable. Not only that, but it's touched on, very much touched on by the song itself, but there's also an air of victim blaming as well. There's just so much pressure to not talk about it. And it's that pressure, I think, that victim blaming, that just, it's horrible. It adds to the horror of what is already happening. It's okay, Emma. I think it's a rant that deserves its own time. I do believe that I'm incredibly lucky in a lot of ways. Sure, I didn't get out totally unscathed, but yeah, I have had it far better than most. I escaped that one jeep that was circling me that one time when I was still living in Cali. I don't like to think about what might have happened otherwise. Oof, yeah, that's a leaden weight that suddenly settled into the pit of my stomach. Yeah, how about we move on from that? And Final Fantasy. Fizz says, who drank water today? I did! I did! I drank water today. Black Wolf says, what did the ocean say to the sailor? Nothing, it just waves. Emma, you didn't drink water today? I don't know what to write next. I have a lot of ideas, but I legitimately don't know what I should be writing next. Or how to go about them. Wolf says, does water with juice count? Oh, I think that juice counts. It's hydrating. Emma says, well, I'm going to. Good girl. back attack. To say that I'm not entirely... Gosh, how did I start that sentence again? I already forgot. I'm sorry. To say that I am devoid of ideas is inaccurate. It's just I don't know what to do with the ideas I already have. Emma says, before I get water though, I suggest something fully removed from our world of capitalism and gross authoritarian nonsense, or something that gives some feeling of, fighting back against it. Whichever is more therapeutic for you at the time. Emma says, because it's important to consider your emotional well-being. Oh yes, very much so. Cloud's hit his fucking limit! Self-care is number one, says Fizz. Precisely. Emma says, Cloud's hit his limit, time to break it. Wouldn't it be fun if at the point we reach our fluffing limit, we just unlock a special attack? It's like, I have had enough of this bullshit. Bing! It's Final Fantasy reference. What's your favorite movie from when you were a kid? One of my personal favorites was like Advent Children. Yeah, it was like on the shelf, I saw it and I was like, oh, been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XII. What is this Final Fantasy VII? Is it a game? And when I realized that it was a movie, I was like, well, okay. Well, what's it about? And so we put it on, and I watched it, and yeah. And that was pretty much it for me. I was pretty much cooked from then on, because there's a lot in that movie that is just so cool. Emma says, okay, that said, casts Meteor. Summons freaking Odin or the Knights of the Round. Labyrinth. Oh, Labyrinth is a good one. Dark Crystal's also really good. Gave me a severe love of dark fantasy. Put on Dark Crystal as a... it's really, really great. Emma says, oh dear, I shouldn't say my favorite childhood movie. I'll be, like, carbon dating myself. No, there's no shame in it. None at all. In fact, now I'm incredibly curious. You're gonna say Labyrinth? Labyrinth is a good one. I remember watching it once upon a time and being, like, incredibly tripped out during the Escher sketch portions. Though there were a good many parts of the movie that didn't resonate as much with me when I was a kid, such as the childhood room full of the old things that was meant as like a trap. Of course, as an adult, I know what that feels like, and I know how seductive of a trap that is, but kid me just didn't get it. And David Bowie's cool. Also, Ralph Scrap did like a cover of Dance Magic Dance, and to say that, oh, it just sets off so much gay. It sets off so much gay in me. I think it's called swooning. Ralph Scrap just sounds angelic, whereas I don't feel like I could ever match her in terms of tone. I feel like I would definitely need to train for years longer in order to be considered her equal. Oof. Cloud just be hitting these crits out of nowhere. Emma says, I also rather liked The Matrix. Matrix is awesome. I was blown away the first time that I saw it. Emma says, I got major trans vibes from it for some reason. Fizz says, who else has Rocky Road to Dublin from Sinners stuck in that? Here's the thing. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be a bit of a hipster here. I knew of Rocky Road to Dublin before Sinners came out, so it's a good song either way. I have not heard the Sinners version yet. I don't know if there's much difference in it, but maybe there is, and maybe it's really good. Oh, Wolf. I've never watched any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Not a one. I've only ever seen scenes. I've only ever seen scenes disconnected from the larger context. I have never sat down and finished a Pirates of the Caribbean movie from end to end. Doesn't mean I don't want to, it just means I've never had the opportunity. How's everyone feeling? Emma says, well, I've got a website where you can watch the pirate movie as the pirates of old would have intended. Ah, yes. The yonder pirate sight, as the pirate kings of old intended. Welcome home. It's good to see you. Let's see. Nathan says, really any kind of stop-motion film. I had a small DVD player, and 3 of the films I watch constantly were Corpse Bride, Coraline, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Something about them I just like. Honestly. Yeah. Yeah. I love them. I have a sneaking feeling we're gonna get back attacked any second now. Emma says, oh my gosh, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes, and Corpse Bride. Yeah, I really love those movies. They're great. And Coraline. Coraline is amazing. I really love watching or listening to Coraline on some of my days off. Wolf says, I remember watching Nightmare Before Christmas. It was beautiful. And Gladys, level 23. He's good stuff. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas is a very beautiful film. And it's got so many catchy songs as well. As does Corpse Bride. Ooh, nice dodge. I should have named one of these characters Gary, so anytime they dodge I could say, "Nice dodge, Gary." Oof! Sorry, that critical hit surprised me. It gone done and surprised me. Get off the trampoline. Fizz says, I'm gonna go relax and write some more. Bye, sweeties. Pleasant dreams. Stay safe out there, okay? It was really, really lovely to see you during the stream. We hope to see you tomorrow. One of the things that I really, really like about Barret is the fact that he's one of the most human characters in this game, from what I recall. Yeah, he puts on like a tough exterior of being this really, really badass leader of Avalanche. And he's very much, accustomed to using violence in order to accomplish things, in order to get results. And say what you will, I think that Barret is incredibly, efficient when it comes to getting results. And he's right, too, because Shinra is killing the planet with what they're doing, with Mako energy. Just as it's always a pleasure. See you tomorrow. See you. Miss, nice dodge, Barret. I feel a little tired. Nick says, I'm trying to exit Genshin so I can go home and play more there. Yes, go home to where it's comfy and safe. Comfy and safe. And you can play more video games there. Emma says, John, YouTube was very mean to me for a couple minutes there. I'm so sorry. I hope that it's smoother sailing from here on in. Back attack. The sneak attacking fucks. Puggles. Emma says, also amused at back attack. The sneak attacking fucks. We're gonna get the drop on them before they get the drop on us. Emma says, their stance is extra wide to assert dominance, I guess. I suppose so. In lieu of the T-pose. The T-pose official tool. To assert thine dominance. Oh, Barret's getting there. Wolf says, T. Nick says, Genshin gave me a moment of reprise so I can escape without Alt F4. Excellent. Spar says, holy fuck, I just finished the Jade Light quest. Been actually not that long since a game had me in tears. Last time was Claire Obscura Expedition 33. Come to think of it, both games were introduced to me by Valkyr. Valkyr's amazing. Sparrow says a good and tremendous friend. Precisely. I wonder if we will be able to hit level 25 by the end of the stream. It is certainly the climb. Yes, Valkyrie is good friend. I don't know why I said that in a slightly Russian tone. Next says, currently waiting for my car to warm up before driving 20 minutes to go home. I hope that the drive is safe. Welcome, welcome. Ah, Barret's almost there. Barret is almost level 23. I wonder if I should make a grilled cheese later. What do you think about grilled cheese? Grilled cheese sandwiches are great. And sometimes I forget, because I'm an adult, I can make them. I have the power to make as many grilled cheeses as I want! Emma says, was creamy tomato soup? Huh. I don't think I've ever had that before. Should be fascinating. I might just give it a try. Might. Being a very operative word there. Winter says, soup. Soup is good. Soup is amazing. And? Barret's level 23. Let's see, let's get our health back up a bit. Yep, and Barret has broke into the 4-digit health. Save point. Access the menu and select save to save your game. Winter says, also making pizza with my partner yesterday was fun. Just ignore us burning our first 3 attempts. Gosh, it's been a while since I've made a pizza from scratch. I should do it again sometime, when I get a mixer. Emma says, the acidity of the tomato goes nice with the grilled cheese. Fave of mine, but I seldom get to have it. Emma says, then again, I also like ketchup with mac and cheese. Speaking of, that's another thing I'm starting to crave. Mac and cheese. Like, slightly salty mac and cheese. It's good stuff. It's really amazing stuff. Oh? Hello. Hi. I decided to put on the higher voice. For whatever reason, I don't know. Hi. I suppose I'm doing it just to see if I still can. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello and welcome to the stream. Currently we are level 2323. Our progress has been saved up to this point. Woof. Nya. Nya. And whack, 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 whackity, whackity, whack, whack, whack. Whack, 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 whackity, whackity, whack, whack, whack. Gosh. I'm starting to get a good idea as to the level of stresses that it can really take on a person's psyche. Because this is an incredibly slow climb. After a while, it does feel dull. And then you just walk back and forth across the pipe for all eternity. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Well, I suppose we are rolling a boulder up a hill, and we do have an endpoint to our destination. It's just a really, really steep and tall cliff. Staying hydrated, dears. Also, I love that it's dead silence in the game until I enter a battle with sound effects, and then I just go back up into a previous screen and it restarts the reactor sounds. It's this stuff you don't notice until, like, you kill the music. That you really realize how some things just are put together. Thank you so very much, Emma. I do the very best I can. Emma says, yeah, it's neat to get an insight into how stuff gets made. From what I understand, the reactor sounds have a trigger that's in the previous room. But if you enter a battle right here on this pipe, it kills the reactor sound for the battle, and then it just never comes back. If you go into a previous area, you enter into the loading for the sound trigger. Emma says, I used to do a bunch of boundary breaking in my games back in the day, so I could see what it looked like outside the area you were intended to see. I completely understand that. I actually used to do much the same. Though most of my exploits were to exploit the game, break it in amusing ways. After all, it is absolutely wonderful to watch something break sometimes. Hello, hello. Hi. Hello and welcome. Hope that your day's been wonderful so far. Hi, Wolf. Boop. Nick says currently driving home and people still don't know how to drive. Yes, it's a real problem, isn't it? So very cute. Aww. What cute flustered sounds you're making. Maybe I should drag you back to the fox den. Make sure you're nice and cozy, so that you don't go anywhere. Black Wolf says, I'm not cute. Oh good. Struggle a little more. Making me want to call you cute even more. Don't you think there's something delightful in a little bit of squirming? Just a little. Well, says no mercy. Or no mercy. Are you begging for mercy? Or do you no longer want mercy? That's the question. Tick-tock, answer it quickly, or may just choose for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that's just too bad. Winter says, I don't know, it sounds like they want no mercy. I'm starting to think so as well. You absolute cutie. Cute little sounds. Hello. Hi. Emma says, objection! You're cute. Oh, right now that's not in question. What is in question, however, is how much you're going to resist before you accept that you're cute. I'm glad to see that you include yourself in that, Winter. Excellent. I won't need to fight you as hard. So very cute indeed. I find you precious. Well says, don't resist, it's futile. Nick says, remember Nico, we only have a certain amount of buckets. Well, you best fetch more. Resistance is futile. Emma says, everyone but me? You're cute. Emma says, tries to be a brat. Huh? Emma's trying to be a brat. Just going to have to punish you, won't I? I wonder, how long should I have you in my basement for? Oh, trick question. Forever. And Wolf whimpers. Aw, how cute. Very cute indeed. Emma says, yay! Oh no! Is it just me, or are my characters hitting critical hits far more often than I've seen them do so? That's interesting. Emma says, oh yeah, it's a bit dark and not for everyone, but have you played DDLC? I've never actually played DDLC. I've been spoiled on it, though. I think Monica was one of my first introductions to the yandere character type. So, I guess it is partially because of Monica that you get to enjoy some of my content. Sparrow says, have you yet done the math on how many times you need to go through this? I've not gone and done the math just yet. However, I'm pretty darn sure that I'm going to have to be going through this millions of times. And no, I don't think that's an exaggeration. I do think that I'm going to have to do these battles, you know, at least 1,000,000 times, if not more. That's going to take a long time. So I guess because you like the Foxo better, just Foxo? Don't tell Monica? Well, what's Monica going to do? Might just lock Monica up in my basement as well. Now that is the real turnaround. That is the ring-a-ding move, baby. Wolf says, well, at least I'll have company in the basement. Welcome home, Nix. It's very good to see you. Safe and sound. Wonder if I should do more episodes of the Shapeshifter. I was really proud with how I decided to write that one, making it seem as if she was just like a regular human, until like it's proven that she's very much not human. Nick says the window is mine, just 'cause it's warm and cozy. you can have the window. Just make sure that everyone gets a little bit of sunlight, okay? Can't have you be developing a vitamin D deficiency. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I should play around with more Wonderland themes. What do you think? Should I be playing around with more Wonderland themes? No, Emma, don't crawl into the dryer. Nick says, Emma cometh share the sun with me. Oh, so very cute. Oh, goodness. Gosh, we're going to have, like, so much gil at the end of this. Just, like, so much gil. I wonder what'll max out first, the time or the gil? Probably the time. Also, it just occurs to me that in Arcades, it costs like a billion gil in order to ride one of the cabs. Doesn't that mean that the Arcadian Empire is suffering a massive form of inflation? Where gil as a currency is worth so little in the Arcadian Empire that it's just worthless? I'm not particularly... It's not something that catches my interest. I would much rather an economic model be stable. Yeah, with a lot of regulation in place. Though we were probably talking about the other kind, in which case, yeah, some people are into that. Not me, though. Not my particular icicle. We're legitimately cornering Shinra soldiers in the reactor building, and we're going, alright, cough up your lunch money. No, we need it for our lunch later. Oh yeah, that's why I'm asking you to hand it over. Wonder if I should write a bully. I don't know. I never really fancied bullies that much. Though again, some people are really into that, some people really like being bullied. And I don't judge that, I just... not for me. Emma says, no, I was trying to get someone to talk about that kind so I could be like, what? No, I meant the rich are into inflation because it makes an opportunity to sweep up a greater share of the total wealth. Yeah. It's fun. Smack. Emma says, was trying to do one of them double entendres. Ah yes, double entendres are fun. Sometimes things that come in doubles are really, really fun. Emma says, but being bullied a little can be fun also, yes. Well, I mean, I do really, really love to tease. Pity. Gosh, imagine just like this really imposing girl just looking you up and down before going, pity. I think that would do things to me. Like, pity what? It's like, what's a pity? Always a pity when one isn't given the recognition they deserve. I suppose so, Emma, yes. Nick says, I mean, it's not hard for someone to be taller than me. 6-foot Foxo. I am tall. I suppose it can be a little bit scary running into me in the dead of night in Wonderland. I have no fear. I don't seek to hurt you. Not unless you give me cause to. Winter says, Nix, all that means is you have to make people kneel. Gosh, that is actually a really, really good idea. Maybe I should make someone kneel. That sounds actually really, really cute. You are of the Chaos, Nyx, and yet you are still a really good kitty. And you want to know something? I'm proud of you. Yes, incredibly proud of you. Getting home safe and sound. Yes, good Chaos Kitty. Most everyone's mad here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I can be very sneezy at times. Slightly headachy too. I think after this particular level, I might be done for a bit. Like when I get Cloud and Barret up to level 24. So still a little bit of a climb to go for Barret. But Cloud is level 24 now. I think that's great. I think we've been making really good progress. Gosh, you're giving me so many ideas. You don't even know. Back attack. Sneak attack flux. Like, I wonder, should the sun be its own sort of entity in my wonderland? I wonder how scary it might be if that were the case. The Amazing Digital Circus? I think it was underneath the Jester video that I did. Someone made the comment that it sounded like I was the moon from The Amazing Digital Circus. And there are some superficial similarities between mine and the voice actress's voice for the moon. They look happy. Emma says, or I guess any media of the last 2 decades that had the sun being alive. Emma says, now I'm getting ideas. Oh, really now? You're getting ideas. Paddle. How adorable. But really, what's your idea? Nick says, okay, go computer set up again. Time to play Genshin again. Congratulations. Emma says, I forgore. Oh, poor dear. Poor dear forgore. Such a shame when my poor dear forgets. Oh, simulation-like. Huh. Do you think I should trap my next listener into a simulation? That sounds very interesting. Or a mindscape, maybe? Well, true. Then I could also do Epiales. You remember Epiales, right? The dark spirit of dreams. I can just imagine it. The listener has tried to stay awake for so long, managing to make it to 72 hours with a lot of coffee and stress. And the second that she dozes off, she falls right back into her arms. And Epiales is not having it. She loses her mind because she just saw her darling hurt herself by forcing herself to stay awake. And so it'll be a little bit mean to start with, but it'll soften right up. I can even see about Epiales slipping into the world of the waking because the listener is starting to hallucinate. Like she starts to hear whispers and then Epiales just claws her way into the corners of her vision. You know, trying to take center stage, but not quite being able to do it yet. I suppose she'll kind of, you know, both cuss the listener out and also come to the realization that it was also partially her fault because she scared the listener so bad. Hi, Eve. It's very good to see you, Eve. Hi. It's very good to see you. We were just discussing Epiales. What do you think of this Epiales idea, Eve? Eve says, why is Nico so big? Final Fantasy so small. Well, it's because I'm on the climb to level 99 with both of these characters in the first reactor building. And it's going to take a while, so I didn't quite want to make it center stage. I just wanted to make it like this fun little corner thing to look at as well. But yes, about Epiales was basically just thinking about making a sequel to that. Emma says, and then we just blink or rest our eyes for a moment, and that's all it takes. Precisely. All it takes is for our dear listener to just close her eyes one more time. And that's it. Curtains for her. Eve says, it has the feel of Subway Surfer gameplay. Really? Golly. Well, it is something that I am working towards for, like, bragging rights and self-achievement. You know, not just an idle game. Nick says, luckily no blood, but ouch. Emma says, no hurt you. Oh, electrical tape. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That just won't do. Nick says, it's okay, this is on the lighter end of my accidents. I see. I see. Eve says, we like eating tape. It's like a fruit by the foot, like the snack. Oh, golly. Hop, 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 hop. Cloud's back on the trampoline. Nick says, I has done many much dumbs in the past. Will says, me too. Me three. I have done several foolish things in my life. Eve says, yummy. I wonder what it would have been like if they remade Final Fantasy VII for the DS. Like, if that was part of the time stream. What if that was a thing? Eve says, if you eat the sun, you become the sun. Eve is the sun. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. Nick says the sun is now an uppie. Aw, how cute. Also, I think we've got like 30 people watching the stream right now. That's actually a new record for me, I think. Isn't it? I think about 30 is where I've hit the record before. 30, 35. But hi, welcome, hello. It's good to see you. Cloud is almost at the point where he can one-tap the machines. Like, almost. I wonder if Barret will be strong enough to one-tap the machines. Emma says, oh, that's a lot. Hi, peoples. Next says, people are watching Foxa play game and chat eat sun. Emma says, sorry about the sun, viewers. Shouldn't be too bad. Eve says, and you take the moon, and you take the moon, and you take the moon. Gosh. Chowder was such a weird show. I hadn't seen much of it when it was first airing. But from what I had seen of it, it was pretty weird. You take the moon and you take the sun. Eve says, did y'all also get to see Invader Zim? Only a tiny bit, like a tiny bit of it. We weren't allowed to watch it when we were growing up. And? Barret's level 24! What do you think? Should we continue? Should we get our characters to level 25? Eve says we are allowed to watch it as a kid, which is awesome. Emma says, yes, you can do it. Alright. We will continue the climb. Level 25, here we come. Gosh, they've got so many health points. This is so cool. And we're slowly accumulating potions, too. We'll probably hit around 90 potions. I say, maybe around 98, I think? Because we'll be at it for such a long time that we'll eventually accumulate the max amount, and then we'll flicker back and forth as we essentially, keep our characters at, topped up. Yes, take the lemons! Got sidetracked and ended up back at Portal. You're looking for a gun that makes holes. No, not bullet holes, but, well, you'll figure it out. Eve says, Nico, you don't like horror things, right? You ever heard of the Magnus Archives? I've heard of it. You don't sound Russian? How could I sound anything, silly? I'm plastic. I don't even have a voice box. I had to borrow this one. Don't turn on the light. Are you going to kill me? No! Well, I mean, yes, but not for a good long while yet. He says, please, yes, 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 yes! Yeah, that was actually one of the skits that first introduced me to the Magnus Archives. But beyond that, we've not really heard that much. We should probably give it a listen over when we can. Swim says, just played Sega Marine Fishing. We peaked at video games' absolute latest. 2005, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I have to disagree, Swim, simply because Final Fantasy XII was released in 2006. Eve says, please listen to it. It's all so good. But how do you like my impression of the Russian doll? Don't turn on the light. You know, beyond the implicit threats and, you know, the implicit threats of violence, I think it was incredibly sweet. Not, you know, not super menacing, but silly enough. He says, and the shock of hearing those lines again. No. Well, I mean, yes, but not for a good long while yet. Nick says, I just fought the doctor and Jesus. Like at the same time, says Eve. Congratulations. Nick says, that was interesting, to say the least. Not like that. Eve says, Nico, we just noticed that you say our usernames a lot in stream, says Eve. Well, yeah, should I not? Nick says, does that make him Jesus? No, right? Now I'm confused. He says, you can do whatever, it's just a thing we noticed. Well, is it a problem? Because if it's a problem, we can stop. Nick says, either way, I won. Congratulations. Like you sneak attack fucks. They keep sneaking up on me. No matter how much I level, they sneak up on me. Eve says, you sound like a lost puppy, wanting to be told what to do. Well, sometimes I do crave direction. Other times I like giving it. You know what I mean? You are dear to us, Eve. We hope you know that. And Barrett's hit their limit break again. The next encounter 3 is going to be explosive. Eve says he'd probably like the Mexploitation AO3 tag. Mexploitation? I've never heard of that. Never heard of that before. Kaboom. Eve says, and handler hound dynamics. Hammer blow. Huh. Fascinating. Actually, is that a limb? Yep. But is it like a single attack or is it a multi-attack? Because if it's a multi-attack, I'm fascinated. Swim says, you made me look up Final Fantasy XII because I've genuinely never heard anyone talk about that one. It's my favorite Final Fantasy game. And my first one. Eve says, what you said just reminded us a lot of our bestie Mutt likes to say too when asked if it can make a decision. Aww. How cute. Eve says, like, we bring something up and it tells us if that's what you want to do type thing. Eve says, when you said, if it's a problem, I can change it. Not in a negative way. Ah. Well, basically, it kind of comes from this long-standing fear that I have that I will disappoint. I tend to be fairly modular when it comes to plans because I don't want to disappoint. And then there are some times where I just am incredibly stubborn and I don't want to adapt to new plans because I got fairly set on the old ones. It can be an interesting sort of dynamic. We wonder what sort of armament we want to go with, because that's something that we've been wanting to decide for a little bit, because we want to acquire one and we want to acquire training with it, so we can defend ourselves. We know a little bit of martial arts, and no harm in learning a little bit more once we get like a little bit more exercise under our belt and we can effectively keep up. Eve says, look in DMs after stream. Okay. Thank you so very much, Eve. Eve says, we give you a puppy's most needed thing. Oh, I see. Many thanks. I wonder what it would be like to be in a world where I didn't have to worry so much. I wonder what it would be like to live in a world where I don't need to stress out that much if I don't want to. You know, just take a day or two and actually go out and feel safe and just relax out there for a little bit. To explore, to Run and find out. Emma says, Mexploitation? What now? Puppy thing? I'm curious. Also, hugs for Foxo. Thank you so very much. Very much appreciated. Imagine, if you will, a world where our taxes paid for universal healthcare. And a world where we're not discriminated in, as much. Or at all. That'd be pretty nice, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Eve says, we will just say that Mexploitation in Handler/Hound is just the Toxic Yuri version of HGG. Ah, the Toxic Yuri side of things. Nothing wrong with Toxic Yuri. Well, I mean, there's Portal 2. And the original Portal. Just to list a couple. And... Fascinating. Very, very interesting indeed. I wonder. Swim says Toxic Yuri, like what they both love. Like what they both love Britney Spears? No. Nick says, I'm at 58 pities, so close yet so far. Eve says, more like, this is horrible, but please let it happen to me. Very cute. Eve says, like, identity death is awful and everything, but please, please? Swim says, oh, you mean the good shit. I don't want to avoid discussions of AO3 here, but maybe we should move away from the subject for now. Like I said, nothing wrong with it, and I think it is valid as a means of creation, as a form of artistic expression. All good, Eve. All good. How honestly, did you not read the hospital policy that defines you as medical property? Was quite literally a change from the Stupendium's Outer Worlds song, which is one of the main inspirations that I had for writing the Yandere Hospital. Because the listener goes from being, well, an independent agent to essentially being sequestered into an entire wing of a hospital that's been retrofitted specifically for her use. I just got a bit of an idea. Listen closely. Good puppy. Aww. Oh my gosh. You're being so cute right now. Nick says, got a stray cat with that one. I wonder. Good kitty. That one was aimed square at Nick's. He says, say that again in 10 seconds, please. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good puppy. No? Good kitty? Okay. I can do that. Good kitty. Eve says, we had our girlfriend unmute the stream. Oh, so precious. Give your girlfriend our regards. Or should we say, hello. We hope you enjoyed that. Eve says, that's not fair, babe. You're using a professional voice actor against me. All's fair in love and war, dear. Eve says, I'll be here from her as wee 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 meow meow meow. Oh, what a good kitty. Aww. Making me just absolutely... I've got the biggest grin on my face right now. Hit it one more time. What a good little kitty you are. Just such a good little kitty. Eve is celebrating in the sidelines, and I feel so very accomplished. Today has been a very good day. Someone says, Skate 2 audio is too loud, and all I heard over it was Good Puppy in my right ear scared the F out of me. No, I'm sorry. Well, partially. you let me know if you again do it. Oh, you want me to do it again, Eve? You want me to do it again? So soon? Okay. I can certainly do it again for you. What a good kitty you are. We're so proud of you, kitty. Eve says, no, she muted stream. She said it wasn't fair. Aww. I couldn't help but laugh at that. That was just so fucking cute. He says, we can still say it to her though, despite being a bit sick right now. Aww. We're sorry you're sick, dear. Also, Eve, you're such a good puppy. Oh, Wolf, of course. You're such a good puppy, Wolf. Oh, and for you, Emma? You want one too? Oh, Emma, you're such a good puppy. I'm so proud of you. Well, of course, Eve. Oh, don't tell me you thought you could use me like a weapon without any repercussions. Nick says we need more buckets. I only have mine. Aww. So very precious. You are so amazing. Never forget that, okay? Because if you ever do forget it, I will be right here to remind you. Also, we've got 30,000 and 1 gil. Almost 30,000 exactly. Eve says we forego a lot of things. What were y'all saying? Oh, we were just saying what a good puppy you are, Eve. And that we will remind you anytime you forget. Good girl, Emma. That's right, Emma. Wolf says I forgot. Well, I will be here to remind you. You're such a good puppy, Wolf. And I'm proud of you. Always. Eve says, we heard sound, and our head blinked. Yeah, we snapped our fingers. Snaps on our left hand sound incredibly sharp, almost like a clicker. Nick says if I stay quiet enough, she won't notice. Oh, I won't notice at all. I won't notice at all. Ah, what a good kitty you are, Nix. So precious. I'm just going to have to collar you and make you all mine. Nick says, joke's on you. I already have a collar. Aw. How wonderful. How so very wonderful indeed. Good girl, Eve. And glasses, that's all. Well, having your glasses is very important, no? Wolf says, do I need a collar? Do you want one? Then, at your earliest convenience, I would definitely love to click a collar around you. Oh, how so very precious. Click? We heard click. Yes, that's right. Link says, Eve, I need to get you on a leash. He says, is there training happening? Maybe. Maybe a little. Trying to make it subtle. Because you're such a good girl. Wolf says, we're getting trained? Like I said, a little. Oh, inks. Eve says, your name is Kitty, actually. Is her stream still muted? Good kitty inks. Oh, Sam's up. Thank you so very much for the $50. Thank you. That is so very much appreciated. Thank you. Hi. It is so very good to see you. Thank you so very much again. I hope that her reaction was good to that time that I called her a good kitty again. I know that it wasn't called for. Eve says, she left for a little bit, but she's listening now. What a good little kitty. She go, wow. Aww. Oh, she go, wow. Sam says, what's your favorite game of all time? My favorite game of all time. Gosh, it's a really good question actually, because I've played a few titles, but the best game that I ever played, the one that I had the most fun playing, gosh, I think that might have to be Final Fantasy X, to be honest. Because while 12 will always have a place in my heart as my favorite Final Fantasy, 10 is the one that I had the most fun playing. I should get that game when it goes on sale again, and when I've got a little bit of cash to burn. What about you, Sams? What is your favorite game of all time? Eve says, Silksong is so much fun to play while in Class A's. I love how we adopted that classification so quickly after discovering our cognito hazard. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so very much for the $100. Sam says, I will always love Borderlands 2. And here's some cash to burn. Okay. Yeah, the last time that I've had a bit of a donation streak like this was, you know, around the time that I re-debuted this model. Well, that I debuted this particular model. It never fails to make me ever so flustered. Just make sure that you are financially secure and sound, okay? I don't want you to go bankrupt making sure that I'm staying afloat. Oh, golly. Emma says, this flusters the fox, so, eh? Yeah, this does. Sam says, don't worry, I have lots of savings. I just wanted to support my favorite. I'm your favorite? Eve says, giving streamer money flusters her. Emma goes, Cloud is level 25. Now we get Barret there, and then we will save again. Emma says checks bank balance. Emma! You don't need to do that. Golly. Golly. Thank you so very much for the $2, Snicks. Very much appreciated. Emma says I don't have 100 to spend. It's okay, dear. You don't have to spend a thing. Nick says, has monies. Oh, Cloud's just one-tapping them now. Oof. Absolutely demolishing machines. Oh, golly. I'm just a virtual foxo on the internets. Emma, you didn't have to do that. It's very sweet of you, though. Forfeit all worldly possessions to Foxo? You don't have to do that. You really don't. I'd feel really, really guilty if you forfeited all your mortal possessions to me. Nick says Foxo's getting good monies. Well, YouTube takes their cut first, but after that... Yes. Oh, golly. Eve says, to be fair, it is her job. Well, to be fair, yeah, I suppose. Eve says, be creature, get money. Be creature, get money. Emma says, hopefully John YouTube doesn't take too big a cut. Well, it's capitalism, you know how it is. Emma says, be creature, get money. Is that gonna be the slogan? Be creature, get money? Like be gay, do crime? Be creature, get money? Just thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. With everything going how it's going, it's important now, more than ever before, to be financially secure. So please make sure that at the end of the day, you're safe and secure, okay? I don't think I could ever forgive myself if... Thanks for the hugs. Much appreciated. Nick says it is now. Thanks for the head pats, Nix. Very much appreciated. Head pats are always appreciated. Thanks for the $50, Sams. Oh my gosh. Sam says, gotta go now. I'm playing Satisfactory and all hell just broke loose. Boy. Well, stay safe and I hope that Satisfactory goes well. And thank you so much again. I tip my ears to you. Yeah, Satisfactory is a really, really fun game. From what I've played of it, and I've played a little bit of it. Nick says, I'm on the moon, Genshin. You're on the moon? Emma says, same. It's very complex. I think my poor brain started having troubles, but I liked it. Lunar cat? Lunar cat. Also, Emma. You're a good girl. Emma's a very good girl. Nick says, yeah, Archon Quest brought me to the moon. Eve says we need to be clicker trained right now. Eve, you're such a good puppy. So very cute. Wolf says, the clicks. That's right, the clicks. You know what the clicks mean, right? It means you've been good. It is to reward good behavior. Huggles. Huggles and snuggles for all who want them. Nice dodge. Oh yeah, Cloud's just one-tapping the machines now. I'm pretty sure after Barret gains this level, he'll be one-tapping the machines too. And once you can one-tap all the machines, well, that'll be how it is for the rest of the run. I remember when it took 3 to 4 hits to bring the machines down, and now Cloud can one-tap them. Yeah, assuming that he hits 140 instead of 135. New outfit for Lumino? Oh no, Lumine. Sorry, text is really small on my phone, and sometimes I struggle to see it clearly. One of the many reasons I think I need glasses. Hello, Chef. I'm doing the reactor grind. Leveling up to level 99 in the very first reactor, with only Cloud and Barret. And in the meantime, I'm flustering chat and getting flustered in turn, when chat decides to fluster me. Emma says, best Foxo's beating up machines. Yep, the old joke of, those two have been in here for months, our forces are decimated, what do we do, boss? Are they interfering with the way that things are operating? Well, no, but they are making it hard for workers to get down there and actually do maintenance on the machines. Eve says, the invaders are making it too hard to move. Our head keeps getting scratched whenever we walk by one. Ashiv says, should we look into the persistent issue in Reactor 3? No, I'm not paid enough to do that. One more battle and Barret will be level 25. Ashiv says, Thought they might go bankrupt if they keep having to replace these robots. Yeah, we're beating them all up for spare change. We're gonna be a gillionaire. And we are now level 25. Our current gil, 32,071, and we have been at this for 9 hours and 11 minutes. Moving right along. We're just gonna pop down for a save. Save point. Access the menu and select save to save your game. First, we're gonna heal up. Also, now Barret's MP is in the yellow. The thing about it is that I've never had him cast any magic. That is just where his MP starts. That is his default MP from the start of the game. And now it's in the yellow. That is so very strange. Level 25. That is such a wonderful milestone to reach. Oh. There we go. I think that will be that for today. It is currently 10 o'clock at night where I'm at, and I will need to be streaming tomorrow as well. Right. But thank you so very much for stopping by this particular stream. It really truly means the universe to me, and thank you so very much for all of the support. Ashif says, so where did you get all this scrap metal? Cloud with a dump truck of broken robots. Found it? I found it. Okay, but Cloud, this is a veritable mountain of scrap. Yeah, Shinra just had it lying around. Lying around? Right. But anyways, thank you so very much for stopping by. I hope that you get some really good rest in. Make sure to drink some water and get some good food. And stay safe out there. Surviving is winning. Good night.